Hello guys, welcome to the second video on concept of valuation. In the first video, we have discussed on the introduction to the concept of valuation and also discussed the compounding concept of valuation of money. If you remember, we discussed via an example how future value differs when interest is paid either yearly, half yearly or quarterly. In today's video, we will discuss on how we calculate value of a series, how we calculate the value of a series of cash flow. So class, if you remember, we were discussing compounding concept. We are discussing compounding concept, and we already have discussed that if interest is paid yearly, quarterly or else half yearly, how the investment maturity amount has changed over a period if the interest is paid yearly, quarterly and half yearly. And we have found that if interest is given in quarterly basis, then the overall maturity amount is highest as per the last example which we have solved in the part 1, that is compounding value concept part 1. Today what we are going to discuss is with reference to future value of a series of cash flow. So let's discuss about future value of a series of cash flow. Now what it means, if we distinguish with respect to the last topic which we did, in the last topic we had only one investment into consideration with a certain rate with a certain time period, but only one investment at 0th year. But here there can be multiple number of investment done not only in the 0th year but also for subsequently in the first year and the second year or third year. So far we have considered only the future flow of a single payment made at 0 time. The transaction in real life are not limited only to one. An investor investing money in installment may wish to know the value of his savings after a number of years. So let's take an example. So what we are discussing? We are discussing with respect to the concept of future value of a series of cash flows. Future value of a series of cash flows. Now let's take an example. Someone is looking forward to invest, say let's talk about year, and on the other side amount deposited for investment. Year and amount deposited for investment. So first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, for 5 years. And say for example he has deposited 500 rupees first year, second year he has deposited 1000 rupees, third year he has deposited 1500 rupees, fourth year 2000 rupees, and fifth year 2500 rupees. So let's take an example like they have invested this amount at the start of the year. So let's take an example something like that it's all invested at the start of the year. So at the start of first year he has invested 500 rupees, start of second year invested 1000 rupees, start of fifth year invested 2500 rupees. Now the thing is, so it's the 0th year, so first year when the investment was done at the start of the first year. There comes the second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. So if you have made an investment here, I'm talking of this particular point. If you have made an investment on the first year, basically it is taking 1 year complete, 2 year complete, 3 year complete, 4 year complete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth year this is starting. So it's getting maturity at the end of fifth year or at the start of sixth year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is basically is in the business for 5 years. Or with the bank with 5 years. Second, if you are investing money here at the start of the second year, 1,000 rupees. So it's there in the business for 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 years. If you are investing in the third year, 1, 2, 3. So similarly 2 years and 1 year. So this is basically the time period with which for 5 years, 4 years, this particular amount is with the investment company. And say for example, at the end of the fifth year, that means at the start of the sixth year, we require to calculate the maturity value. Then under such circumstances, how we do this particular problem? We can solve it individually, or else we can club this together with respect to a single formula. So let's discuss the formula first. The formula is the future value will be equal to P1 is basically the principal for year 1. 1 plus I, with this formula we have done to the power n. That's for the first year. For the second year it's P2 bracket 1 plus I to the power, see it's n minus 1 because it's for 4 years. So n minus 1 plus P3 bracket 1 plus I to the power n minus 2 plus P4 bracket 1 plus I to the power n minus 3 plus P5 1 plus I to the power n minus 4. See, n is 5 years. 5 years, this is n. N is 5 years. N minus 1, 4. N minus 2, 3. N minus 3, 2. N minus 4, 5 minus 4, 1. So this is a particular formula which we are going to apply here. So future value is equal to P1 bracket 1 plus I to the power n plus P2 1 plus I to the power n minus 1, P3 1 plus I to the power n minus 2 plus P4 plus P5. So this is the particular formula which we are going to apply for this particular sum. Now let's solve it. So again I write down in this side. So first year the investment was 500. Second year the investment was 1000. Third year the investment is 1500. Fourth year the investment was 2000. And fifth year the investment is 2500. And say interest is given at the rate 5%. So this is what the structure is of the problem, that interest is given at the rate 5% and you will be getting the maturity at the end of the fifth year. But your investment has been on the start. You have invested at the start, but maturity at the end of the fifth year. So what is the formula we said? So future value will be equal to P1 bracket 1 plus I to the power n plus P2 bracket 1 plus I to the power n minus 1 plus P3 bracket 1 plus I to the power n minus 2 plus P4 bracket 1 plus I to the power n minus 3 plus P5 bracket 1 plus I to the power n minus 4. So we calculate this. So P1 is how much? P1 is 500. So 500 bracket 1 plus I is 5%, 0.05 to the power 5. N is 5. N is 5 years. Plus P2 is 1000. So I did not need to break it up again. So I can write it together. So 1.05 to the power n minus 1. So 5 minus 1, it's 4. Plus P3 is 1500. So 1500 into, I'm writing this side, 1 plus 0.05, or else I make it together. 1.05 to the power 3 plus fourth year is 2000 into 1.05 to the power 5. Sorry, 4, 3, this is 2, 5 minus 3, 2, and last one plus, last year is 2500 into 1.05 to the power 1. So this is what we got. So if we use the calculator, so let's use a calculator to find it out. So we are using a calculator. So so what's the calculation like? So 500 into, in first bracket is 1.05. So 1.05 bracket close to the power 5 to the power 5. So it's coming 1.05 to the power 5, it's coming 638 point, I will take 2 decimal plus 14 plus 1000 rupees bracket 1.05. So let's do it from here only. I press here, I make it 1000 rupees, 1000 rupees into 1.05 to the power 4. So I make this as, I change this as 4. So it's coming 1215 thousand into 1.0, 1215. So it's coming 1215.50 plus third year is 1500 into 1.05 to the power 3. So we take this into consideration, is 1500, just a minute, 1500 into 1.05 to the power, so I change this to the power 3. So it's coming 1736.43. You can take 3 decimal also, not an issue. I have taken 2 decimals. Plus, so the fourth one is P4. P4 is 2000, right? P4 is 2000, yes. P4 is 2000 into 1.05 to the power 2. So it's 2000 into 1 to the power 2. So this is coming, sorry, 2000, it will be 2000. So it's coming 2205 plus P5. I've invested 2500, but it's only for 1. So to the power it will be 1, and the amount is 2500. So it's for 1 year only. So 2625. So what is the maturity amount? So the maturity amount, or else you can say the future value, will be equal to the summation of all this. So what we do? We do the summation part. Just a minute. So we got 6 638.14 plus 1215.50 plus 1736.43 plus 2205 plus 2625. So the amount is coming 8420 rupees, 8420.07. So I hope this calculation is clear. Now this is one of the way by which we have solved. If there is a series of investment done, a series of amount being paid to an investment company, and at the end of the 5th year you are getting, previous video we were doing only one investment at a single point of time. Now here we had 5 in different forms of investment, different amount of investment, money invested in that particular company at a rate of 5% interest which we are getting from that particular bank or investment house. So 500,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 invested, I got 8420.07. Now this we can again find it out via another method. This is the mathematical method which we have solved via a formula. This can also be solved via a tabular method. Now I will show you how a tabular method is normally done. So we will be having how many columns? So we have tabular method. So the first column is year. The second column is the amount which is there in the problem. Third is the number of year compounded. The number of year compounded. Then the compound value. And last comes is the future value. So we have the following columns. So again I repeat: year, amount, number of years for compounding, and compound value, future value. The compounding rate or value or the future value. And we know that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And the amount was given as 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. Now I said, if you remember, year 1, at the start of year 1 you have invested 500 and for a period of 5 years, so this will be for 5 years. You have invested at the start of second year, so second say third, third say fourth, fourth say fifth, fifth say sixth, so it's basically how many years? It's 4 years, 3 years, 2 year, 1 year. So what is the formula here which we apply for compounding is 1 plus I. This area is 1 plus I to the power n. So for the first year, which is compounded for a period of 5 years, say for example, so we got how much? So 1, so let's take a bracket and do it. Bracket 1, 0.0 is 5% means 0.05, so 1.05 that close to the power 5. So it's giving 1.2 say 8. It's coming 276. I have taken 28. You can take 3 decimal also, it's not a problem. Next is for 4 years. So I change it to 4 years. It's coming 1.21 or 22. The next is for 3 years. It's coming 1.16. For the next year, which is for 2 years, it's coming 1.10. And for the last one, to the power 1 remains 1.05. Now what we do? We try to calculate the future value. Future value is the amount multiplied by the compounding rate or the compounding value or the compounding factor. We can also write this as compounding factor. So this will be correct, compounding factor. So amount into compounding factor. So how we calculate this? So 500 into 1.28. So it's coming 640. The next one is 1000 into 1.22. So 1220. Next comes is 1500 multiplied by 1.16 is 1740. The next comes is 2000 into 1.10, it's 2200. And for the last one, last year the invested amount was 2500 multiplied by 1.05, so it's coming 2625. So if I calculate now, if I try to find out the total, so it's 640 plus 1220 plus 1740 plus 2200 plus 2625, it's coming 8425. Is the same amount which we have calculated. It occasionally it might happen that this particular amount, say for example last time, suppose it came 8423 and here it's coming 8425. Please understand, here we have approximately taken certain decimals. It was coming 1.275, so I have taken 28. So under such circumstances this may not match, but coming a very close figure with respect to 8425 will work. So this is one of the first method which we have discussed was a mathematical formula. If you wish not to do in a mathematical way, you can do it in the form of a chart like this. Now the last part of this particular topic with reference to a series of cash flows is, I said that 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 1500 rupees and 2500 rupees was invested at the beginning of the year. So it was mentioned that it was invested at the beginning of the year. Now if this investment would have happened at the end of the first year, at the end of the second year, at the end of the third year, then there would have been a change. What change there would have been? Because if it would have been an end of first year, if this would have been at the end of first year, then basically there are 4 years to go. So, and if it is at the end of, say for example, this is a second example I am giving, then this will be for 4 years, for 3 years, for 2 years, for 1 year, for 0. And if this is also changing, this particular rates will also change. How it's going to change? So let's calculate and find out whether at the start of the year and at the end of the year do the amount vary. So 500 rupees has been invested for 4 years. So how we calculate? We first calculate the compounding factor. The compounding factor bracket. So we given the bracket 1. So rate remains same, 0.5. So 5%, 1.05 to the power 4. So it's coming how much? 1.22. 1.22. Next is for 3 years. So it's coming 1.16. Next is for 2 years. It's coming 1.10. The next is coming for 1 year. It's 1.05. And if it's 0, it's basically 1.00. So now what I do? We multiply. How we multiply? We take the amount and the compounding factor. So 500 into 1.22 is 610. Next, 1000 into 1.16. Just a minute. 1000 into 1.16 is 1160. So next comes is what? 1500 amount into 1.1, it's coming 1650. For the fourth year, it's 2000 into 1.05, so it's coming 2100. And for the last year, 2500 into 1 is 2500. So last time it was somewhere at 8420 or something, which was my maturity amount or the future value. So now let's find out what is the future value. If the investment is at the end, so 610 plus 1160 plus 1650 plus 2100 plus 2500, it's coming 8020 rupees. So you can understand, at the beginning of the year, if you make an investment, the amount will be compared to the future maturity amount, or the future will be compatible higher compared to if you invest at the end of the year. So what we have discussed today, we have discussed about a series of cash flows. When we have a multiple, in the sense, not a single investment, we have multiple investment into consideration. So this is a summary part. So we have multiple investment which we have done over lot many number of years. So this is what we term it as a series of cash flows. And so two things which is very important for us to know from here, that when is the investment done? At the start of the year, or at the end of the year. So if we are sure about that when the investment has been done, then we can find out what will be the time period, the number of years to compound. So this ends with this particular concept of series of cash flow. So we have explained the entire concept of compounding. Next, we will move on into the to calculate with respect to compound sum of annuity. So this will be in the next video, that is concept of valuation part 3. I hope you have understood. Thank you.